weekend is here. I hope you're ready to whoop it up. And I am, because I am joined by the one and only Ana Quincoces. So we are going to talk about, you already know what we're here to talk about. Okay, it's the big bomb that was dropped on last night's Real Housewives of Miami reunion. We've got a lot to say. I've got a lot of questions, a lot of thoughts. I'm sure you do too, Ana. And yeah, we're just going to jump right into it. Glad that y'all are here. Ana.
Yes.
I feel like it's hard to eat. Where do you even start? I mean, it's like, do you jump to the end where the bombshell was?
Yeah.
Because that's where everybody's focused. But a lot went on last night, at the reunion.
It's funny because I knew the bombshell in
Mm-hmm.
advance and I was still shocked.
Yes.
It's funny because I didn't know that it was in the Hamptons. So I
Mm.
guess it was that kind of, letting us know exactly when it happened and getting that visual because I
Yeah.
remember when they decided they were going to stay in the room together. I also remember Adriana when people got there, she was in the bathtub with her perfect, uh, uh, what do you call it, Lenny Hochstein boobs
Oh my God, she
exploding, and it
was.
was perfection. And God, I was turned on. So imagine
She said Julia couldn't have been able to control herself if we were turned on.
right. So I think that's why I was still shocked. I was also shocked because as much as it was that moment that everybody was anticipating, the big bombshell from the reunion, I don't understand the purpose of it. I don't
Okay.
understand what it resolved, and I believe that it was wrong of Julia to share it, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
true or not true. I
Mm-hmm.
think too many people are affected by that statement, starting with Martina, her own
Okay.
daughters, whom she's already having issues with because of the baby,
Yes.
her sons that are too young now, but someday, this is here forever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I didn't feel good about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think like immediately, we all love the drama,
Of
but I
course,
mean,
no,
yeah.
absolutely.
But I also think that, to your point, obviously I've been thinking about it today. It's like it's all over, Twitter and everything. And um, you start to realize like, oh my God, like, we often forget these are real lives that we are watching. Like these are people that wake up every day with responsibilities and, and family members and friends. And there are people that saw and heard that last night that are like, what the actual, I mean, and then the first thing I thought about was her daughters, because I was like, they've already been in what she's admitted is a rough space because of they adopted the babies kind of without the girls feeling like they were, aware of what was going on. And I'm like, what a way to dig the grave even in deeper, friend, is to go on and now reveal an affair, because I mean Martina's been in their lives for years, so they I mean they can't be happy about that happened, and I'm certainly don't imagine they're happy about it being used for argument purposes on TV.
Right.
So
There was no purpose for it, and I can just imagine. I'm sorry.
oh, you're good.
I don't know if if it was premeditated, where she told Martina beforehand,
Okay.
and Martina was expecting it, or if she just willy nilly decided this is the time to vomit this information for no real purpose. Because what she
Hmm.
said is, this will give you some context as to what's going on with Adriana. What's
Yes.
the context? What,
Yes.
Adriana wants to be in a relationship with her? Look, Adriana's face, I've known Adriana for since season 1.
Hmm.
There was a lot of pain in her face. You know, Adriana Adriana does not deserve what she's endured this season. She
Okay.
does not. I don't like the way that she has been excluded. I also don't like the way that they've created at least 2 montages, entire packages of Adriana's bad behavior throughout the
Hmm.
season to make somebody else's point. Because I can tell you right now, you could go to my seasons and put together a pretty, juicy montage of me behaving badly, and that applies to every single housewife that has ever been on any show.
Yeah, you
So
can't get filmed
why,
that much and not have bad moments. You know what I'm
right?
saying?
So
Yes.
why do that to her? I just hate. what she's had to endure this season, and this was the kind of the icing on the cake, the nail on the coffin, whatever you
Hmm.
want to call it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of it, endure, it's obvious, that we oftentimes, even like in OC as viewers, where we say like, oh my gosh, like they're all like ganging up on someone, or they're targeting someone. Um, I also think that through those times, whether it be during the season or during the reunion, production also has things that they do, that they plan, and I don't want to say team up, but production is a team essentially. And I kind of felt like last night production was dropping hints, you could say, of
Mm-hmm.
maybe what they're planning to do for next season. And I think that they did that through a lot of flashbacks, with Gertie specifically. It just felt like they were, I mean, even the Julia flashback, it's like, okay, are y'all just now showing us this stuff because you want to kind of, it didn't make sense. It's like you save all this stuff. Is this because you wanted to save this for when you were ready to tell us like your parting ways? You know what I'm saying?
So if you're talking about the thing that I've been talking about for a year and a half, which is Julia's complete freak out at the Mamacita luncheon, that luncheon where I didn't utter a word,
Yeah, I mean,
I'm so afraid to talk, Christian. Um, that I have been telling everyone that that happened, and I always found it very strange that it was so dramatic that it wouldn't be used. And
yeah.
I think it was the context of it was something that they did not want to reveal because, as I've said, and this is just my opinion, um, they do a lot to protect Marisol. They are very close to
Okay.
Marisol. They are good friends. I think Marisol is probably at least 80% responsible for bringing this show back. So I do credit her for that. But she also seems to have some control over editing. And
Hmm.
because if you watch that closely, the aggression is directed towards Marisol and she gestures towards me. So it was
Hmm.
something I said about something Marisol did, which you know what it is, but I can't share, but it's very, very dark.
Hmm.
And it triggered Julia because of experiences that she's had, and she went crazy. Now
Hmm.
it was convenient to show it because we don't want Julia's throwing of the water to be an isolated incident. We
Yeah.
want everyone to think that Julia has always been crazy. But again, they showed it with no context. So,
Yeah.
it's hard to figure out what's in the minds and in the hearts of production sometimes. But
Yeah.
I hope that I don't know what I hope. Honestly, Christian, I don't know what I hope at this point. It is a very complicated situation, Miami right now. I
Yeah.
don't like how Gertie was treated. I don't. I don't think Gertie was treated fairly.
Well, it
Gertie.
speaks more specifically about that. And then also, I'm seeing comments. People are asking if you can move closer to your mic.
Oh, I'm
So I
so
don't know if we,
sorry. I am the queen of not handling technology properly, you guys.
yeah.
I'm sorry. So more specifically, I think that Gertie, I think there were a lot of microaggressions. I think there
Hmm.
was a lot of overlooking of Gertie's feelings and from where Gertie comes from. Okay, to say that Gertie felt violated and Larsa felt violated and somebody else felt violated, no, that's not the same thing.
Hmm.
We don't have the same life experience. We don't have the same privilege or lack of privilege to say that we all had things thrown at us and that it's the same. It's taken me a long time to learn that. And that's why I felt when I got on here and I looked like a mess because I did an episode this morning with Richie Sky, who's a good friend of mine, and we worked together years ago, and we really dove deep into that. And it's hard to see somebody suffer the way she did, and you may not see it as a viewer because she was very quiet and she didn't want to spell things out because sometimes things are so painful that it's too painful to cry about. It's too painful
Oh
to
yeah.
scream about. And I felt that that's what Gertie was dealing with. And I think that nobody really apologized, that nobody really felt her pain. And Gertie is a little bit polarizing, right? People love her or people hate her. But that doesn't even come into the equation. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What Gertie has endured, what Gertie has been brave enough to show us, okay, for the past 2 seasons, is worthy of respect, and it's worthy of so much more than what they've given her.
Yeah.
And to some extent, at first I was like, God, Andy, get in there, say something. But the truth is that Andy's limited by what the network wants. And for a long time, the network has wanted light.
Mm-hmm.
Light. Let's not get dark. Same reason that part of mine was taken out. Because we don't want dark. Life is dark enough right now.
Yeah.
Right? Real life
Yeah.
is
I mean,
dark.
this is
So
it's escapism is what
it's
reality TV is
right.
supposed to
So
be
so
at its core.
entertain
Yeah.
us. But I also think that if this is supposed to be reality, and it's supposed to kind of mirror our real lives, then as uncomfortable as it is, I think we need to talk about some of these issues as
Yeah.
well. And I think Andy has it in him to navigate through that and do it in a way that is fair for everyone. It just
Yeah.
looked like he was focused on conflict resolution, which is the hallmark of housewife shows,
Totally. Yeah.
and how they work well. But I'm just felt like, I don't know, like a little bit helpless with what I saw
Yeah.
on that episode. I don't know what we can expect. The only thing I know, that I get a little intel here and there, just like I knew what was going to happen, and that it was about Julia. I know that Adriana's going to come back with an affair that Julia had with a man. This is what we're going to hear next episode, with a man. I
Jesus.
I heard something about maybe he was a funeral direct, something about funeral. I don't know exactly. I thought it
Lord.
had. Yeah, yeah. So that's coming, and then I also know that Marisol. You would expect the reunion to show us Stephanie and Alexia getting really into it.
Mm-hmm.
But my understanding is that Marisol met with certain people, certain cast members, and decided, let's fight a little bit, but not overdo it,
Mm.
because, it's not good for the show, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. So we're not going to see the Stephanie that came in hot from day one,
Yeah.
because Stephanie came in like a wrecking ball. I
Yes,
love her
it's
for
funny
it.
you say that. I have my, I like take down like notes and like just thoughts I have when I'm
Yeah.
watching, just so I don't forget. And I literally was like, Stephanie was a lot like I said, almost more enjoyable at the reunion because I felt like she wasn't trying to be like so,
She
and
was
I don't know,
Monaco Stephanie again.
yeah, and I don't know if she was being produced to be like, get in here and get in here and get in here. Like, I don't know. But yeah, I said, I don't want to say more enjoyable, but I felt like I got to like learn more about her. Like, even learning that she'd never met her husband's ex-wife. I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like that kind of, it just changed. I
She
don't know.
hasn't. No, she
Yeah.
hasn't. I've spoken to the husband's ex-wife. They've no, I have. Um, I'm from Miami.
Not
We
shocked.
right. They have never met, and she was never the assistant. You
Okay.
know, the ex-wife, I'm sure, said many other things, but that wasn't one of them. So she's not lying there. And I think Stephanie, there's a lot of nice things about Stephanie. I
Yeah.
think Stephanie, you know, get rid of all the bragging and all this stuff. I think she's a nice person. I think
Yeah, I do
she
too.
doesn't know how to have friends. She hasn't had a lot of friends. Like I've told people, if I was on the show today, I think I would be friends with Stephanie. I think I was,
Okay.
as somebody older, advised Stephanie, hey, lay off the plane, lay off the Birkins, just let it speak for itself. Act like
Yeah.
you've been there, because you have been there. Look at her on social media. Right now, she's at Paris Fashion Week. She looks amazing.
I
Every
know. She
outfit
looks
is better than
incredible.
the next. I mean, like, wow, right? That is aspirational. So, like,
Yeah.
I would have her lean into the show and not tell if I
Yeah.
was her friend.
You know what I even heard when that little 1 second clip of her saying, I think she was talking about, um, like her experience at filming the season as a whole. She said, I've never multitasked so much in my life. Like, because they were talking about her flying back to Miami right after they wrapped
Yeah.
filming the reunion. And I was like, you know what? Like, she's just like, she is like a hustler. You know what I'm saying?
She's
Like
a hustler.
and
She's a
she reminded me of
workaholic.
Vicky in that moment where she's like, I got to do this and got to
She
do
is
this,
like a Vicky. She is
Yeah.
like a Vicky, and it's not fake. She is a workaholic. She is a hard worker. She's chosen not to have children. And for people who have chosen not to have children, which, by the way, I totally respect that decision if that's
Yeah.
your decision. My brother works really hard. Him and his wife, all they want is to travel the world. They've seen the world 3 times over. They've decided not to have children. Well, good for you. Rather
Yeah.
than bring children into this world that you believe that you would then resent for not being able to do other things. Either way, she's decided that she is going to be the alpha, that
Yeah.
she is, and just lean into working. She wakes up in the middle of the night saying, I got to make money.
Yeah.
Who are we to criticize that?
Yeah.
That's what floats her boat. Good
Yeah.
for her.
Yeah.
But I think that we would have seen her more get into it if she hadn't been spoken to the way that she was spoken to by Marisol. And I
Mm.
can attest to that because I came at Leah so hard at the reunion because I spent 4 hours on a plane with Marisol, her telling me that Leah was coming for me, and it wasn't true. So
Yeah.
this kind of mastermind of this whole thing can really affect somebody that's a first time housewife that doesn't really know the game.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
spend years watching Real Housewives and trying to understand what the rules are. I was just like, oh, she knows. She's an expert. Let me just do that.
Yeah. Very
So
true.
I think we might not see the kind of Stephanie we've seen all season, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Um, Back to the bombshell at the end. It gave me an idea. I was like, something that I think they should add to reunions just in case is like a little like GoPro in the control rooms, because I would love to see like producer and like crew reactions to stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes. Yeah.
because I mean, I'm sure there might have been like a producer that knew, depending on
I
how
don't
close
think so.
Julia, but yeah, but I think that there had to have been one, if not multiple people in there that would have freaked out in that moment, and to
Yeah.
just see their reaction would have been, I think, kind of fascinating.
You know who, I mean, they all looked shocked.
All of them.
If you look at everybody's face, except for Larsa's, because it
Yes,
doesn't move at all.
I
If
saw a tweet that
Larsa's
said
face
that.
moved, she would have had a reaction too. But I'm sure deep behind the layers of Botox and filler, there was a
Oh,
reaction.
she had an emotional reaction. Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
She had
dead.
an
That is
emotion
so
deep
funny.
inside that
Oh
we
my
couldn't see.
god.
Yeah,
Oh my god, that is so funny.
everyone was pretty
Um,
shocked.
oh my gosh, yeah. Even like Andy was shocked. I mean, I think a lot of people are. I mean, they all probably had different things that were clicking for them in that moment.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? And also too, the way that Larsa, the way that Julia said it, when she was like, the reason that we are not in a good place with, with Adriana right now. I'm like, is that? I'm guessing she's speaking for her and Martina, correct?
Uh, no, no. I think she means that there's so much conflict between her and Adriana. What she did say was that it happened when her and Martina were not in a good place.
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't know
Okay.
if you
Okay.
hear that, listen to it back, but her excuse for having slept with Adriana was that her and Martina weren't in a good place.
Okay.
And
Got you.
her divulging that the one night or whatever happened, I think she after said it happened more than once, I don't know, uh,
She said they
was
messed
the
around at the
reason her
Versace
and
mansion.
Adriana are now not getting along. So
Okay.
so
Got
she
you.
said
Okay.
two different things. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Good Lord. Well, and this is just part one of part three, people. So, uh, God only knows what, I mean, well, you gave us a little tease of what else is to
That's
come, but
the
I
I mean,
imagine that's
honestly,
not
that's
all.
all I know.
Yeah.
And I believe that to be true because I got the information from the same, source that I got that it was an affair between Adriana and Julia, so I'm pretty sure that that's going to be accurate as well.
Yeah.
But we'll
Wow.
see.
Well, as we wrap up, I would love to know quickly what you think. based off part one of the reunion, because they often say reunions have a big, tell in the whether, for casting the next year. So what do you think based off part one, the cast will look like next season?
Um, I think that they're trying to get rid of both Gertie and Julia.
Yeah,
That is
I agree.
my prediction going into this. But I know that they're smart enough, both the network and producers, to see the viewers' reactions to all of this before they make a real decision. There's a lot of talk out there that contracts are out to 5 of them and that 4 were on the chopping block. None of that is true.
Okay.
I've confirmed that none of the people, not none, but several of the people that it's been said have contracts don't have contracts. And that makes sense because when I was on, we never got a contract till way after the reunion.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
I definitely think either Julia will be gone. I think Julia will be gone. I think
Yeah.
Julia should be gone. I think Julia should focus on her little boys that she decided to give a better life to and
Mm-hmm.
forget the opera. You can't sing. You are tone deaf. Okay? Let it go. You know, if you want to sing like else, let it go. Like I sound like somebody skinned a cat when I sing, but I know it, you know.
That's
So
hilarious.
she needs to forget that and also really look at this episode and understand some of these microaggressions that I'm talking about because raising 2 black boys, you're going to
Mhm.
have some unique challenges that you need to really understand before you embark on that challenge because
Absolutely.
clearly at this reunion you don't know anything about that. So I would forget about this show, focus on your
Yeah.
marriage to Martina who has is giving you a good life and who has fallen in love with those boys. You see it.
Yeah.
You see,
Yeah.
and just this is not for you. This is
Yeah.
not for you. Gertie, I hope she sticks around. Gertie has
Yeah.
been, you know, just a great example to the strength that is within all of us women when we deep, when we kind of go deep and find it. It's in there. Sometimes you think I can't do anymore. And
Hmm.
yet she just goes in there and finds more strength. And to me, I admire her. And I didn't always love Gertie.
Okay.
Gertie grew
Yeah.
on me. It took a long time for Gertie to grow on me. I had to see
Yeah.
Gertie from a different way. I was one of those people that I'm like, whoa, whoa, that's a lot, you know?
Yeah.
I really was.
Yeah.
And
I
and
think that's a
and
sign of a good housewife though, because it shows there's a lot of layers there as a person. And
yeah,
you need time for there to be a good reality TV character because like it's a getting to know someone, is
right.
essentially what it is. So I think that someone who your opinion shifts on a few times, before you reach that ultimate like, impression that's a good sign because it means like they're really offering up all the layers, the good,
Yeah,
the bad, the ugly, the truth. And
agreed.
yeah, I think that's a good thing. All right, everybody. Well, Anna, thank you for coming and joining me. Everybody that's
My
watching, thank y'all
pleasure.
for joining me. Make sure y'all hit subscribe because I am live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern here on Herdats YouTube. And I want y'all to come hang out and whip it up with me.
That's
Speaking of
right.
whip it up, I hope y'all whip it up real good this weekend. Anna, what are you doing this weekend? Anything fun?
Well, I just bought a house here. I gotta take you so you could see it.
I know.
We both live in Charlotte, guys, if
I
you don't
know.
know
We're like
that.
10 minutes apart. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, I'm just working on all that. I don't have it yet. We haven't closed, but I have to inspections, all that. So,
All that stuff. Yeah.
so I'll
All
be
that
around
adult
doing all
stuff.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
All
love
right.
it.